Hey, thanks for checking out Cars, Shops, and Collections. If you like the show, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Excited about today because a buddy of mine, his name is Todd, met him a couple years ago actually in this area. He gave me a call and he said he has a surprise he wants to show us. So we figured we'd get the cameras and go check out Todd. So let's get in the car and go. This is actually the street that we met Todd on because his 1924 Buick Rat Rod was broken down and we were driving by him doing another TV thing. And we stopped and that's how we met. It's kind of a cool story, but he lives around the corner here. He's got a surprise for us. I know we had that Rat Rod. He had a GTO and he sold it and he said, I want to show you guys something. So come on over. So let's see what Todd's got a BMW for us. All right. What is going on, Todd?
How are you?
You called us out to see a BMW.
Not quite.
Good to see you, my man.
Good to see you too.
All's well?
All is well.
I take it the surprise is not that. The surprise has got to be behind here.
You're right.
All right, let's see what you got, man.
This is the Jaguar XK-120. It's a 1950.
Holy smokes! When did you get this?
I got it 6 days ago.
It's not even a week old that he calls us first. I love it. We gotta get a closer look at this, man.
My name is Todd Wurz. This is my 1950 Jaguar XK-120. I've been in love with cars for as long as I can remember, ever since I was a kid.
First off, Todd, how did you find it?
So I was looking for a really cool Roadster. I had promised my daughter we would get a cool convertible, and once I started digging in, I was like, oh, I totally forgot how much I loved the body style of the 1950 Jaguar.
It's iconic. It's an iconic car. It's an iconic color. What's the official color?
British Racing Green.
And so the story because it's the 120 is because the max speed, the originals are 120 miles per hour.
That's correct. It was the fastest production car on the planet in 1950 at 120 miles an hour.
Oh, in 1950, 120 is fast, but imagine going 120 in 1950. That's insanity back then.
No doubt.
Walk me through it. So the interior here, this is a kit car. This is a rebuild. What do we have?
It is. It is a tribute car, or a kit car. So the body is fiberglass. The interior is done in tobacco. Most of everything that you see is almost identical to what an original 1950 Jaguar would look like. The dash, the seat setup, all of the curves of the body.
And this car was like the belle of the ball of Hollywood when this thing came out. There were some legends that had this car, right?
Yep. Clark Gable had one, Cary Grant, Humphrey Bogart, Clint Eastwood, Jane Mansfield.
Oh, now what? Can you show us under the hood? Because this is not the original. This is a treat when it comes to the engine of this car. What do we have? What do we have underneath here?
So originally these cars came with a 6-cylinder motor. Mine has a V8.
Of course, why not? And you're known for, you had that 1924 Buick Rat Rod that you put an LS motor in that one.
I did.
Whoa! This makes it even better. You're not expecting to see this. This makes it so much better.
It is a fun car. I mean, it weighs nothing because it's all fiberglass. It's got plenty of pep.
Close the hood and let's take a look from the front here because, I mean, the Jaguar, this looks like a cat coming at you. Just the curves of the car itself. It's to me, it's a cat that's coming down the highway.
Absolutely. So William Lyons, the founder of Jaguar, it was his belief that it cost no more to build a pretty car than it did an ugly car.
You sure made a pretty car right here.
It certainly did.
Can we do a test drive?
We sure can.
How do you fit in this thing first? How do you get it? Because you're a big guy. How do you get in this
Barely.
car? What's the trick? You slide in?
It is comical. I definitely have to slide in.
You have to slide. I got no problem getting this. Tiny man like myself.
Right leg first, slowly.
Slide in there.
But once you're in, it's comfy.
These are comfy seats.
It's got a nice little growl to the motor. Like I said, it's got plenty of pep. It's a really fun car to drive.
This is real wood grain interior? What are we looking at?
Yep, wood grain interior. All of the necessities as far as dials.
This was not standard in
That
1950.
was definitely not standard in 1950, nor was the entire console, but I replaced it with a Bluetooth stereo so I can listen to all my favorite music.
Yeah, there was no Bluetooth back in 1950, but this is a blast. You got the keys?
I do.
Let's start it up.
All right.
Yeah, before we go, we gotta do this. This is a thrill, man. Thank you so much. This is a treat. Let's do it, man.
Thank you. I love doing these ride-alongs with you.
This is good. Just the sound of this thing.
Yeah, like I said, it's got a nice little growl to it.
And again, going back to it, I feel like it's attacking the road in front of us.
Yep. I like all the voluptuous curves. There's a lot of the female form that's in this car. A lot of automotive history buffs would probably argue that and say that Coke bottle design really wasn't, so prolific until like the early 1960s. Like the Studebaker Avanti, I think is known to have like really turned the page on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at the front of this car, it's undeniable.
It's a head turner too, as you're
Yeah.
driving this down the road. And
No
you're driving this. This is your daily driver.
I have driven it every day since I bought it.
That's what you have to, you always done that with your cars. I know that rat ride you had, you drove that all the time.
You have to use
The
them.
GTO, you're driving that thing all the time as well.
Yeah, you have to use them or they're just not fun. You know, the cool thing about the XK-120 is that this is the first sports car that Jay Leno bought that started his love affair for his car.
This was the one that hooked him.
Yeah.
Your daughter, I know she just got her driver's license recently.
She did.
Like you said earlier, she wanted like a convertible,
Yep.
something like that. Has she driven it yet?
She hasn't driven it yet. She's been a passenger, but in her defense, she's only seen it one time.
Oh, she has? Okay.
Since I've owned it,
Okay.
yeah.
How fast have you had it going?
I mean, I cruise on the highway at 70. You know, with these kind of cars, you don't want to push them too far. You know, it's not what it's really about. I didn't buy it to race it.
No, you bought it for the feel of it, the look,
Yeah.
the history of it.
The enjoyment.
I love it. With your cars, so I know I mentioned with the rat rod. What did you have before that? Was that your first collector's car that got you into the game?
I had, when I was 17 years old, I had a 1988 Chrysler Conquest. And that was like my first really cool, classic muscle car, even though it was a Japanese muscle car. You know, I absolutely loved that. But as a kid, I went to car shows all the time. There was a place that did mechanical work for all European, like high-end European cars. And we would go there just to see what they had in the lot. So Ferrari Testarossas, you know, classic Porsche, like all that kind of stuff was there. I've got tons of pictures that, you know, take me back to that era of time.
That's when the love affair began, huh?
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Hot Wheels, I had hundreds of Hot Wheels as a kid. You know, I was just in love with the design. I mean, they're rolling pieces of art.
Mm-hmm. This is class is what it is, man. Like you said, this is rolling art. Todd, man, that was a blast. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Todd's always
appreciate
it's
it.
always good for a good surprise. When Todd calls and says he's got a surprise, you come down to his house. Thanks, man.
JC.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
All right.
If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carsshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carsshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.